Good morning. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in to Kila Chari Torah's daily review of Hilchos Pesach, the laws and customs of Passover. Fast approaching, 2 weeks away for Friday, April 1st, which is also Erev Rosh Chodesh, we should point out. First, let's take a peek at the laws of the Seder. We're up to the point where a servant, if you have one, or a member of the household, if you have one, if you don't, so you, fill the cups. Each time the cups are filled, they should fill them rather than you doing it yourself. Of course, if you're the only one there and there is no one to fill your cup, so you fill your own cup. Some people have the custom milechatchila, ab initio, to fill their own cups and not to have somebody else do it. Different customs, different places, all good as long as those cups get filled. The idea of having a servant or someone else do it is derech cherus, an impression of freedom, obviously not for the servant. You should instruct members of your household to drink at least a greater part of each cup at one time, and of the fourth cup they should drink a revi'is, about, what did we say before, 89 mil, 100 mil, about 3 ounces or so, 2.9 ounces at one time. And they should have in mind to fulfill the mitzvah of drinking the 4 cups of wine, and have in mind to fulfill the mitzvah of relating the story of the Exodus, Sipur Yetziat Mitzrayim, eating matzah, eating maror, because women and men are both required to perform these mitzvahs, even though they are mitzvahs aseh shazman grama, positive time-bound commandments, which in many cases, some cases, women are exempt from, but not in the case of the mitzvahs of the Seder. You recite the Kiddush as it's written in the Haggadah. Drink the wine while reclining on your left side. It's best, if possible, to follow the opinion of the authorities who say to drink the entire contents of all 4 cups. If you can't, at least try to drink most of the majority of a cup. As we mentioned before, the smaller the cup, as long as it's not smaller than 2.9 ounces, you are good. And you can drink it. First of all, it's not so hard on the stomach or the digestion if you don't tolerate wine or sugar too well. And we said before, you could get wine that's lower in those substances. We do want to drink more than simply just a sip, though, however. What else did I want to say? Something else? Okay. I'm sure I had something else good to say. I will think of it presently. Let's remind ourselves of what's happening this evening. Friday, April 1st. I know what I want to say. Kiddush. We're talking about making Kiddush. Since the first Seder is Friday night this year, we combine the Kiddush for Shabbat and for Yom Tov. So it starts Yom HaShishi, or Vayhi Erev Vayhi Voka, wherever you start. And you say Yom HaShishi, and the part for that you usually say as an introduction to Kiddush on Friday night. And then you launch into the Yom Tov Kiddush, and you include you'll have to watch the little gray boxes or the little brackets depending on how exactly your Haggadah is set up, but it will say there, it may have indications for Shabbat, and you have to be very careful to include those when you make the Friday night Kiddush for the first Seder. Second night Seder, it's already after Shabbat, so Shabbos has concluded, so it's the Yom Tov Kiddush, obviously without Yom HaShishi and all that, but you do have a few extra brachas to say. I think we're going to cover this. Are we going to cover this, or are we not? No, we better touch on it. You know what? We'll touch on it after Shabbos. Bli neder, I won't forget to do it. You have to make Havdalah in the Kiddush also. We'll talk about it. Okay, speaking about Shabbos, tonight, earliest time you can usher in the Holy Sabbath is 6:24 p.m. Actual candlelighting is 7:26 this afternoon. We're not gathering yet for a minyan and shul. Were we to do it, it would be 7 o'clock. So if you want to daven all together, Mincha, Kabbalah, Shabbos, that's the time to do it. Tomorrow morning, we'll daven at 10 o'clock, hopefully for the last time, from next Shabbos, the following Shabbos onwards, Shabbos Hagadol. Onwards, we'll be davening at 9:15, as we always did, or at least we did for a long time, as long as I've been here. Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, we'll start. Shabbat concludes 8:30. And Zoom Havdalah, you're all welcome to join us at 8:40. The link for that to be found in your daily email. You should have received it right around 5 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. You should check your inbox or your spam if, heaven forbid, we landed there. One important thing to remember about this coming Shabbat. Not only is it Shabbos, beautiful thing, it's also Rosh Chodesh. It's Rosh Chodesh Nisan. So the main thing to remember is to include Ya'aleh v'yavo in Ritzei, in the third from the last bracha. There's a paragraph there. You're in a gray box in the art scroll sitter. Others put it in brackets, different things. It's Rosh Chodesh. Doesn't affect Kiddush, by the way, but it does affect your Amida, your Shemona Esra, and also your Birkat HaMazon, your benching. You should include Ya'aleh v'yavo right after the Ritzei paragraph for Shabbos. So make sure to include that in your Friday night davening of Ma'ariv, the evening service. Shabbos morning when you're here in Shul, we'll remind everybody, but in case you can't join us for any reason, don't forget to include Ya'aleh V'Yavo in the Shabbos Shachris, and also Musaf. We have a special davening when Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh coincide. And of course, it goes without saying that the Birkat HaMazon of Shabbos Day and Mincha of Shabbos Day also include Ya'aleh V'Yavo. So you'll want to maybe put a little post-it in your siddur at home to make sure you remember all that. All right. Have a wonderful Shabbos, a Guten Chodesh. For those who like, you can say the Nasi. There's a custom to recite the offerings that were brought by each of the tribes, each of the heads of the tribes, on the first days of Nisan, as the tabernacle, the Mishkan in the wilderness was dedicated. Those are found, I'll tell you exactly where those are, in your Siddur. Goodness. Right about page 948 is where it starts. Yeah, 948, first day of Hanukkah. You'll see they give the full reading for each day of Hanukkah there, but on the first of Nisan you read the first, on the second day, Bayom HaSheni, on the third day of Nisan, Bayom HaShlishi. If you'd like to do that, not required, but a very nice way to underscore the specialness of these days of Nisan, which involve the dedication of the Mishkan, of the tabernacle, the first time, our first grand opening of a shul. Gotta love that. Have a wonderful Shabbos. Have a Guten Chodesh. It should be truly a month of freedom and deliverance and redemption and peace for us and for the whole world. Shabbos.